Romshinators, today we're going to talk about a very interesting subject. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But it's something I feel like affects us all. This is the subject of unidentified flying objects, which were recently renamed to unidentified aerial phenomena by the powers that be. Part of me feels like this renaming is a way of rebranding something that you've spent the last 100 years calling people stupid for believing in. The clownification of UFO enthusiasts is something we've all seen in media and in our own lives. And now that they're ready to come out and say that these things may potentially be real, they've renamed it UAP so that we'll take it more seriously when they talk about it. But I digress. Last year, February 2023, an unidentified flying object was shot down over the Yukon Territories in Canada, near the border between Canada and Alaska. And although they tried to recover this craft, they were unable to do so. In the redacted document that they released, the document that was presented to the Prime Minister, it said that they were unable to recover it, but that in the future, caribou hunters may find it as it crashed on a caribou migration trail. So, it can't be that big of a deal, truly. But what's happened recently is, through a Freedom of Information request, a picture of this unidentified aerial phenomenon has been released. And you will not find this in your local news, you won't find this in the mainstream media. But I do believe this picture has the power to change humanity as we know it. This picture has the power to unite us as one when we realize that there are spacefaring entities out there who wish to make contact with us, who wish to know what we're all about, and likely have been visiting us for millennia, coming to us in our sleep. And I strongly think that the phenomena of sleep paralysis is just aliens experimenting on us, but I won't get into that. That's for my Patreon, which doesn't exist. I do have this image and I am going to show it to you shortly, but before I do, I just want to prepare you for what you're about to see. What's so incredible about this image is that it is crystal clear, and not only can you see the spacecraft, but you can actually see 5 individual aliens on board. And yes, I am a member of the Illuminati. I am a member of the shadow government, and I can tell you who these aliens are because I've met them all personally and I know what they're about. There's Daniel, the quiet one. Chester, the open-hearted. Quintesmo, the fun one. Donland, the warrior. And Jason, the scientist. These are all fantastic aliens which want nothing more than to help humanity move forward and to help us become a spacefaring race, to help us transcend our meat sacks, our bodies, and to help us become one with the universe on a spiritual sense, which was always mankind's destiny. Only now do we know the secret key was alien intervention. And a big part of that coming to light is going to be when this picture goes mainstream and we all see what has been out there in the stars. Before I show you the picture, I'm just gonna do a little ceremonial burning of the incense. I hope it doesn't make me sneeze, that would be terribly embarrassing. I just broke the fucking lighter. I'm so passionate about aliens that I just broke the lighter. Let's see if it works. I just broke a small piece of it. Ow, my hand. Just kidding. Here on Romshii Radio, we take our time. I don't believe in fast cuts. If you're here with me, you want to hear what I have to say, you're going to have to watch the smoke rings float around and humor me for a moment. Romshinators, I now present to you the picture released to the public of the unidentified aerial phenomenon shot down over the Yukon Territories in February of 2023. Here we go. So this is actually what they sent. They sent a picture of a photocopied piece of paper of the letter C floating in an eternal gray void and said, "This is our released image of an unidentified aerial phenomena." Imagine how checked out you have to be at your job, at your high-level job, where you probably make tons of money, and you are tasked with releasing the first image of a UFO to the public. I don't know if it's the first, but one of the first. Let's be honest here, this is huge. The government is admitting that UFOs are real, UAPs, I'm sorry. I have a hard time using their new language. UAPs, they are admitting they're real. And finally presenting an image for us to see so that we know we can trust them, and what we get is a picture of a photocopied piece of paper with the letter C floating in a gray abyss. See, if this one's real, then pretty much every UFO picture I've ever seen is real. Every picture of Bigfoot I've seen is real. The Loch Ness Monster, 100% real. Mothman is coming over later tonight, and I'm gonna produce his EP. I'm gonna run his guitar sounds through all these pedals, and he's gonna pay me $50 an hour. That's how real the Mothman is, if this is a real picture of a UAP. You're telling me this is an alien? Listen, I have zoomed right in on this picture. I've gotten real close. I still can't see shit. It's unreal. All those aliens I told you about earlier, though, they are real. Now, I'm not a UFO enthusiast by any means. I'm not the type of guy who stares up at the sky and obsesses over every little movement he sees. I'm not the type of guy who lays awake wondering if aliens are playing with his balls at night. I'm not the type of guy who reads alien forums with delight. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to get abducted at night. I'm not the type of guy who wants to get in an alien fight. But I am the type of guy who wants the powers that be to do what's right and give us a higher resolution picture of the fucking alien spaceship. That's all I'm asking. Just give me something better. This can't be it. There's got to be a better picture. Imagine that. Imagine getting a Freedom of Information request. Oh my god. I am tasked. Picture yourself. Who is this person who sent this picture? This is like a totally checked out person who does not give a fuck about anything. Like their soul is... There's like a wet towel over their soul. A small little ember just can't break through the wet towel. Like their soul is just so suffocated that when presented with the task of presenting a picture of an unidentified aerial phenomena to the public, they take a picture of a photocopy? What year is this? I wonder what camera took the picture. This wasn't a phone camera. This was like some dusty old office camera that's been there since 1982, and they're like, Frank, do we still have the office camera? Frank, do we still have the... And then Frank's just sitting there like, oh, he wakes up from his $200,000 a year nap, taxpayer money, wakes up, yeah, the office camera's over there. She takes the picture of the photocopied shitty gray letter C floating in the sky and sends that off, and then goes to lunch. She goes to fucking Pita Pit, doesn't ever think of it again. That's gotta be the case. How... Just kidding. You know, I remember one time about 10 years ago, I went to City Hall to see a secret presentation. It wasn't that secret. It was a little bit secret though. It was a little bit secretive. I saw a presentation of the former, I think it was defense minister, very old man, named Paul Hellyer, I believe. I saw him talk at City Hall about how aliens were real. And a very small amount of people turned out for this type of information. There was about 30 people in the room, in this weird little back office room in City Hall, and we all went in and we gathered around the table. And before the guy came out to talk about the aliens, this one dude with this real shiny head comes out with like a singing bowl or something. I might be remembering this incorrectly. In my mind, he had a singing bowl and a real shiny head. And he comes out and he tries to lead us on this guided meditation for like 45 minutes that had nothing to do with aliens, just about positivity in our lives. I don't know who hired this guy, but then when I remember he looked at the audience and he said, "Who here is scared of the future?" And everyone was like, well, you know, you don't have to be scared of the future because all we have is the now. Bing! He hits the singing bowl. Oh, everybody close your eyes. And then finally, once this Yahoo was off stage, this old fella comes up, tells us aliens are real, says he's really tired, and then leaves. He was easily in his 90s. He had to be. And during his presentation, some of the other people in the audience, they were like yelling out different types of aliens. They were like, it was the Draco reptilians. Then one guy was like, more like the tall grays, buddy, get it right. And another guy's like, it was the Arcturians. And the whole thing made me realize, who fucking cares? Who cares? It's fun to think about. But why am I gonna be sitting here with this 90-year-old man in front of me yelling, it's the reptilians at him? I'm in the same room. I might as well have been that guy. There was 30 people there. I was there too. Birds of a feather. How is that gonna help me get my life together? I get it. No, don't minimize it. Aliens, blah, blah, blah. It's all very important. I like to think about it too. I like to think about far out stuff. I read philosophy books. I'm very smart. I'm very smart. I'm very educated. I graduated high school with a 50% average over 10 years ago. I know what I'm talking about here. How is me knowing that aliens are real gonna help me get my shit together? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be yelling that it's the tall grays at a 90-year-old man in a secret room in the back of City Hall after being led on a super lame guided meditation by a guy with a singing bowl who thinks it's profound to say not to be scared of the future. I'm scared of the present. I eat 3 things. I eat peanut butter and bread and tacos from the place near my work. That's all I eat. I have bigger problems than the UFO pictures. I'm just going on a rant now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you deeply. And just like in the last video near the end, as a gift for those of you who are staying here and watching, I do have a secret instrument I'm going to bring out. This is maybe something I'm going to start doing as like a ritual, as a routine, is near the end of the episode for the real romshinators who stick around. You're going to get a secret musical surprise, and there's going to be a musical section. And today's surprise has actually been hiding in plain sight, just like the alien Illuminati who have been running our lives. It is right behind me here. What's the best way to get you to see it? I don't know. It's right here. This is the Korg MS-20 synthesizer, the MS-20 Mini, a truly incredible piece of work. One of my favorite instruments I've ever owned. And I'm gonna play it a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy. Stick around. Just take a deep breath, you know, I feel like everything's so fast-paced. Why don't you just chill here? I'm gonna play some little synth notes. Why don't you guys start journaling or something? Or maybe not, just chill. Smoke. Don't smoke anything. Smoking's bad. Or do it. I don't care. Don't listen. Thank you so much once again, Romshinators, for listening. I really appreciate it. It's a great joy being able to share this with you. If you have watched this far, please comment down below. It would be cool if aliens were real, but I also have more important things I need to do in my own life. So that's not going to distract me from those things. If you could just comment that down below so I know that you've watched it this far and you are a real Romshinator. Or don't. There's no pressure here. There's no pressure to do any of this stuff. This is anti that, you know? So if you want to, comment that down below. If you want to comment something totally different, that's also okay. Life is hard enough as it is without me telling you what to do on the internet. Life will test you enough without me also testing you, making you jump through hoops like a dog to prove that you are a real Romshinator. It doesn't matter either way, man. You have other things going on in your life, bigger than leaving a comment down below. If you've made it this far, you have other things. You have bigger things even than the government releasing pictures of unidentified flying objects after changing the name to unidentified aerial phenomena. That's just in the background for you. Because you're a human being with a life, and the things that really matter are within your sphere. That's where you're going to learn the spiritual lessons that will make your soul grow, that will make your heart grow bigger, and will allow you to have more compassion for mankind. And that's where you will learn the lessons that you'll take into your next life too. And your spiritual evolution will grow. You will be climbing the ladder to ascension, to oneness with the universe, and this grainy picture of the letter C floating in a gray abyss that the government has now released doesn't really have much to do with that. So thank you very much for listening, Romshinators. I really do appreciate you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I may just make some music for a little while longer, if that's okay with you.